Hello, welcome back to another episode of SLAB TALK. In the previous episode, I point out the significant jump in submission in September and October at CGC, and how a big part of that big jump in submission came from modern. Okay, and in this video, I'm going to try to dive deeper into the numbers to get a better understanding of the trend. But before I get going with that, one thing I want to talk about is using this website, CGC data. A few viewers commented that, when I talk about how, the 0.5 have 29 copies, and some viewers said that isn't the data provided above, when you run a queries, a search in this website, they spit out a lot of data, but you get walls of data above the summary that I show you below right here. Okay, now that's true, but also keep in mind something that I think a lot of people are not aware is that the data that they show is not everything. I gotta scroll all the way to the top to show you. Let me do that. Let me grab the scroll here so that people understand why the data is not complete. You see this right here? A lot of people miss this part right here. Too many rows selected, only the first 5,000 rows are shown. Okay? A lot of people miss this part right here. But at the minimum, using the data provided below, I can show you one that have a 0.5. Here you go. Justice League 12 German edition variant cover. Only 2 copies submitted. Okay. No idea why it's a 0.5, but as you can see, there's one high grade here, and then there's one lone 0.5 right here. So yes, using the data shown on the web page, you can spot some of the low grade books. Okay, but unfortunately, the data is only shown for the first 5,000 lines, which is nowhere near a complete list of all the books, all the modern books that was graded in 2020, that was published in 2020. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the previous video. Here, you have the data to show how many submission was done for the month of October 2020. Let's just zero in on October. Okay, so as you can see, the total submission for October of 2020 was 184,000 books, 663. That's over 100,000 more than the previous month. Okay, and now let's narrow in further to see where that 184,000 came from. Here, this next slide, as you can see, over 89% of the submission in October of 2020 came from what CGC consider modern books. Okay, so 165,000. Keep that number in mind. 165,000 was submitted in October as far as modern tier is concerned. One other number that I want you to focus on and calculate is these two numbers right here. Under signature, you see the 829,346. That's a total as of at the end of October 2020. And if you look at the number above, as of the end of September 2020, the total yellow label modern books is 785,108. So if you subtract the two numbers, you will get the total modern yellow label that was submitted in October of 2020. Okay, and that number came out to be just over 44,000. Okay, here is the last slide for this video that's worth discussing. Okay, from the big number of submission that you see in October of 2020, 60% of the books came from just the 3 years that you see right here, 2018, 2019, and 2020. over 99,000 books for just those 3 years alone. That represents 60% of the submission. Just those 3 years. That's astounding, okay? And if you look below, here's the breakdown that I calculated on how many of those books are signature series. Because, as we discuss and are known, CCC did a lot of private signing in October. 89% of the signature series that was done in October was for those 3 years. Okay, let's look at that. Over 20,000 signatures was done for the year, for the books that was published in 2019. Okay, so you look, books that was published in 2020, 9,600. 2018, 9,200. But something in 2019. For those that collect modern books, I'm pretty sure you know exactly which books people have signed that was published in 2019. Over 20,000. That's astounding. Okay, so at the end of the day, 2018 to 2020 are the 3 big contributors to the submission for October of 2020. All right, no doubt it is just not all signature. As you can see, when the total submission for the month was 180,000 plus, okay, and only 44,000 are signature series. There are a lot of people submitting for blue label. Okay, it's not just about yellow label, it's not just about signatures, but for sure when it comes down to signature, there you go, 89% of the modern books was done in those 3 years. Anyhow, hopefully all the numbers are not too confusing. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.